I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Back on this rap-ish, I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list, hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own, tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu, and I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody's south of Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and plan to getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. Me, I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah,
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That Dre season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it
I hate
for
these
us.
average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my old flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on. To the hearse, party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I probably cracking my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete, I'm a verbal athlete. Deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah, I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping, but I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building, my whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Hey, it's definitely the first of the month. Happy Tuesday and happy first day of Black History Month to all of you out there. Welcome to the Morning Update Show. I'm going to deem it Terrific Tuesday today as I bring in my co-host with the most. Big O, you got the most.
Yo, Terrific Tuesday. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I see we got our monochrome going today. I'm with
Yeah, man, go get this on camera.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? We talk right here, Salman. There you go. I have my Tupac shirt. You talk about Black history, you know what I'm saying? There it is. This is what I'm repping right here. Man.
Hey, I'm with it all day. Any day is a day for Tupac, especially on Terrific Tuesday. We should call it Tupac Terrific Tuesday.
Yeah, he went Tupac Tuesday.
Yeah, Tupac Tuesday.
Oh man, Trey Holiday. Good show lined up today. Man, we have Queen Bree, project manager over at Rainier Avenue Radio. She's going to be here today. You know, every year, Rainier Avenue Radio, they rise to the occasion, Black History Month, man. And they got a whole month jam-packed full of events, starting off with tonight, a whole month full of stuff. So Bree's going to fill us in on a comedy show tonight, and then also a Black Wall Street event that they have going on. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, I love this theme of Black Wall Street hitting our events. It's so necessary and it's so amazing, honestly, because it's a time for us to be able to celebrate Blackness, but also to circulate Black dollars. So I'm really looking forward to digging in deep later on in the show with Queen Bree.
Yeah. Also, before we get started here, a big happy birthday to John Jupiter, one of our viewers and supporters out there.
Oh, happy birthday, John Jupiter. That's what's up.
Yeah, we know. All right, let's get it going, everybody. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Update Show. I want to remind you that right now is the perfect time for you to tag and share the stream. Go ahead and tag and share the stream with people you feel would appreciate culturally relevant news and information emanating from right here in the Emerald City. Want to give a big shout out to our partners over at the South Seattle Emerald, also KBCS 91.3 over at Bellevue College. Remind everybody that you can listen to the Morning Update Show anywhere that you listen to your favorite podcast. There's SoundCloud right there, but you can also find us on Google, iTunes, Spotify. Just search Converge Media Network. Time right now on the show, we share a link over to Public Health, Seattle, King County. If you need to get vaccinated, if you need a booster shot, if you need testing, or you know what, if you're hesitant and you got some questions, concerns, go ahead, hit that link right there.
Yeah, also now is a good time for anybody who might be traveling, because we did have a lot of walk-up test sites, or, hey, they were taking you by cars, drive-by test sites. But now, because the testing is in such high demand, they're asking that people really have appointments. So check that link out. Figure out the testing site that's near you. If you need to get tested, if you need to get vaccinated, make sure that you guys are up to date on the information, because actually it is kind of changing, because of the demand.
Kind of changing.
Yeah,
man. This thing represents constant change. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we want you make sure and check that out. And also you can go to covidtest.gov and you can get, what's it, 4?
Yeah, 4 per household.
For free.
At home testing. So
kits. that home test. Hey man, I'm just saying, for a while we had to tell people that, like, the vaccine was free. It was like, you ain't gotta like Cash App nobody or Venmo for them to get the, I got that vaccine. Shoot me your Venmo.
Yeah, now we gotta tell them the same thing for the test, man. They are free, you guys.
Some of of course, if you go to the store, and everything else. What we got here today? We got a little something different going on, a different setup over here. Oh yeah, hey, look, we're running out of time here on Poor Culture. Let me put this up here, man. This thing is getting ready. It ends tomorrow. Poor Culture got the bag for all the cultural producers out there. Grants in amounts of $1,000 all the way up to $12,000. Tomorrow's the last day, Trey.
Yeah, and let's remember here too, I think an important note about this grant funding is that it's really for cultural producers who were affected by COVID, whose business, maybe it's you're in the gig economy, contracting, whatever, but something that you do as a cultural producer was affected by COVID. They're really being specific about this to make sure that those who have dealt with that and have a slump in their resources and funds coming to them, that they're able to now receive funds because of that. So please, if you guys know of cultural producers out there, somebody that maybe has been doing things on the side, but it really qualifies, make sure that they apply.
Oh, all right. Today's also the first day of the Lunar New Year. It's the year of the tiger. You know what I'm saying? Gong Hei Fa Choi. It's like Happy New Year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The year of the tiger. I want to do some more research into that. I was born the year of the rabbit. You know what year you are?
The year of the rat, I believe. Believe it or not, I think so.
Yeah, anyways, moving along here. It turns out that February 1st here in the city of Seattle and maybe across the country is also coming out day for Black folks running for public office. So today, man, I saw this right here. I was minding my own business. I was on Twitter and I got a follow by Stephen Thomas. And I was like, man, who's Stephen Thomas? And I go and look. He has a video up, and it turns out he's running for King County prosecutor.
People are faced with tough choices every day, and we don't always get it right. As a biracial kid from the south side of Chicago, the choices I made should have landed me in prison. But instead, I had opportunities that led me to law school and becoming a prosecutor. Like so many, my life began with trauma, shame, and isolation. My dad, a civil rights activist, left my family when I was 6, and my mom did everything she could to show me that I was loved. But she could not protect me from being bullied and feeling hopeless. At 13, I joined one of Chicago's largest street gangs because it offered me safety and belonging. I carried a gun, sold drugs, and got arrested 7 times. I'm the person I am today because I reconciled with my dad. I had opportunities to heal from my trauma, and I was able to get a quality education. Working on the front lines as a prosecutor in King County for 8 years and traveling around the country training prosecutors to be better, I have been an eyewitness to our broken criminal justice system. Too many of our communities feel abandoned and don't trust our system is going to work for them. The reality is, our system is a revolving door between jail and homelessness. We have historic murder rates. We send people to prison and they don't come back better. My name is Stephen Thomas and I'm running for King County Prosecutor. Together we can build a movement that will hold our prosecutors accountable to building a system that is innovative and compassionate. A system that centers dignity, equity, and safety. Join me as we transform the justice system in Martin Luther King County.
Paid for by people for Stephen Thomas.
Wow. I mean, pretty impressive ad there. You know, he puts a lot and packs a lot in there so that we can understand who Stephen Thomas is and how his impact already as a prosecutor has been in King County. I mean, this is interesting. I didn't know who he was, but
I
I'm learning.
have no idea who Stephen Thomas is at all. But I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, oh, today's February 1st, right? It'd be interesting. That one thing for sure is he put his story out there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, maybe getting ahead of everything, you know, but I mean, if he's working over a prosecutor's office, and that's just his, you know, his life journey. But this is going to be, so now this race right here is going to be a very interesting race, the race for King County Prosecutor. Like, man, that is going to be the one. And you have so many different polarizing kind of views as well, because now you there's the drum beating, however you want to go, of, you know, very like law and justice, you know what I'm saying? And then you have another kind of line around a restorative approach and everything else. And so this is going to be a race to watch.
Yeah, it really is. And I think once again, it reminds me as I was watching that ad there that, you know, even if we had somebody like Stephen Thomas, you know, as King County prosecutor, it's still up to the people to try to uphold some of these things around restorative justice or innovative practices, because it can't be on the back of one person, no matter what their label is, what their title is, or elected office is. But I like that he put it out there, honestly, because we've been talking about this oftentimes in many communities as we see, as the numbers we just talked about, the rise in gun violence, all of that. Maybe it is time for us to think about some new innovative approaches. So it's interesting. We'll see how this is definitely something I know we'll be following up on as more people start to put their name in the hat.
Yeah, no, this is for sure. And, you know, I mean, I'm reach out to Stephen Thomas to his campaign, see if he can come in here and talk about it. It'd be interesting, you know what I'm saying, to hear his idea. You know, we're only 2 blocks from the courthouse anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe make it down here. Also, another announcement today. We'll go ahead and put this one up. This is Julia Reed. We got that one. So there it is. Democrat Julia Reed to run for open 36th legislative district seat and state House of Representatives. Says Obama era department employee, State Department employee, former City of Seattle policy advisor and workforce development consultant would be the first person of color to represent this district. And I believe this is like Queen Anne. Let's see here. Let's see, running for the 36th district, representing parts of downtown and northwest Seattle. And basically, the current incumbent, Noel Frame, is not running. And so this will be an open seat right here. And yeah, they said the first person of color to represent this district, northwest Seattle. Maybe that's Queen Anne, Inner Bay, that area over there.
You know what? This is always exciting for me when we start to see, you know, people stepping up. I'm always saying that, right? See yourself as a part of the solution. And the idea is that diverse representation really brings in diverse perspectives, which also we benefit from more often than not. And it's not to say that there's one way that people think, whether they're black, white, whatever, indigenous, doesn't matter. But ultimately, it's the diversity of perspectives that really bring us lived experience from diverse backgrounds. And so shout out to Julia for saying, you know what, I think I can do something for the 36th district.
Yeah, and you know, reach out to them as well. You know what I'm saying? We get back out. You know, I always say, like, man, I want to stay away from these politicians. The early part's the fun part, though. That's the introduction round. You know what I'm saying? We're always a space for that. People to come and introduce themselves to our community. And also the 36th district, that district right there, Converge has a lot of supporters. Like, we have a lot of supporters in the 36th district. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of our actual base right there. So, you know, definitely we want to reach out to Julia Reed and discuss a bit more.
Yeah, exciting indeed. And I agree with you about the first round being the fun part, my friend, because you're right. You know, introductory, like, let's get to know you. Let's hear everything you are aspired to do.
Because I can be fun, man, in the first round. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these fun questions, everything is cool and everything, man. Shit, it gets close to the election, and, you know.
It gets a bit more critical, my friend.
The temperature just changes around here, you know? So, I mean, yeah, man. And I mean, anybody else, if you're running for office, let us know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't accept political advertising, but clearly, like, you know, I mean, we show people what's going on and play ad and we talk about it, and we want people to know, you know, who's running for these offices. Before we move on here, Trey Holiday, I just want to bring this up. Black History Month. I think I got a message. Here's my message. For all of you companies out there that keep calling me wanting to advertise during Black History Month, give me a call March 1st.
I'm sorry.
No, that's the message. And also, this gives you an opportunity to uplift some other people. Big shout out, you know what I'm saying, Market Street Shoes. Been rocking with us for a long time. Big shout out Ezel's Famous Chicken, the State Hotel, Seattle Theater Group, Broadway Across America, Pacific Northwest Ballet. It goes on a
theater.
Huh?
Fifth Avenue
Theater.
Theater.
Fifth Avenue Theater, Public Health, King County. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's people who've been rocking with us, you know, Arts and Culture, Department of Neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? It's people who've been rocking with us for a long time. I'm over here. I'm looking at the logo wall over here. Museum of History and Industry, Black Heritage Society. You know what I'm saying? Who been out there? It's made my phone be blowing up. Hey man, is there any way we can get some kind of advertising on for Black History Month? And this is the best thing. I said, we the people station. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of our decisions is driven by being the people station and not driven by the bottom line. You know, if it was driven by the bottom line, we just have a whole bunch of commercials here supporting Black culture and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear from them for another year. You know, I'm like, man, you know what? Invest in Black history, because that's what we making here every day. Don't be calling me on no January 31st trying to get some ads on Converge, uplifting your brand, talking about whatever, man. We the people station. We rocking with the people. And if the only reason you called us is so you can get a little blackness rubbed up on your brand and everything else, nah, cuz call me March 1st. And then we talk about a 12-month plan. And big shout out to everybody who A1 from day one been rocking with us.
I just love this message. The way that you set it up. I'm sorry, but it's so true here. That has never been the way that Converge has moved, which is why I think so many people do rock with us. It's why people appreciate the authenticity of what we bring here on Converge. And it is very true. I mean, Omari's phone do be blowing up. I be right here. I see the calls. I see him taking it. And honestly, it is one of those things where, you know, this is something that we've talked about in the history of Black History Month. You know, it's not like a tokenism type of month. We really have to live as Black folks every single day, 365. And the idea is that, yeah, we're not up for that. And this is not the way to actually build relationship. When we talk about intentionality, man, think about that before you step up.
I be talking to, so, you know, it's like we're trying to figure out different ways and growing our business here and everything else. And, you know, there's always that side come like it's supposed to be when people are analyzing your business. Like, well, man, if you take the, because, you know, the other thing is because it's urgent messaging, these guys are willing to pay a crazy amounts of money. You know what I'm saying? Like really big money for a company like Converge. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. It's an old saying. I'll be dead in my grave before I'll ever be a slave. You know what I'm saying? And man, we I mean, and our supporters that keep supporting, and we gonna keep rocking with who we rocking with. You know what I'm saying? Our blackness ain't for sale. Our platform ain't for sale. And that's even why, I mean, it's a lot of advertisers on the everyday who want to get on Converge. And we just say no, because it's not aligned in our values. I'm like, man, Big Mama and them watching. You know what I'm saying? I can't put this trash on my network.
No, absolutely. But it's, we always say all money ain't good money. Who you do business with is a reflection of you and your values and, your principles. I agree with that 100%. It's another reason why I rock with Converge, right? I mean, we talk about me and Omari's skill set and being able to be almost anywhere really we wanted to be. But the fact that we bring it here is also a part of who we are. And I love that you actually reject a lot of that mess, bro. Because, you don't want to have me sitting here talking, but for some company. And if it's not genuine, I can't do it, man.
The staff, the crew gonna be like, man, really? Oh, what? Is that where you at with this? So yeah, so for like I said, for all the potential advertisers out there who hit us last minute because you have a Black History Month message, yeah. March 1st, the phone line's open again, and we'll talk some strategy there. Man, so yesterday, the Simon Fox was here last week, and he talked about the film from the group Rare, Roosevelt Alumni for Racial Equity, and they premiered the whole film last night. And man, we got so much good feedback, even from our viewers here who actually watched it and everything else. So we wanted to play the trailer again this morning, and we'll put the link in there for people who want to see this full documentary. And what they did is kind of look back at Roosevelt High School from 50 years ago and talk to people who were students 50 years ago. Spoiler alert, they were dealing with some of the same issues then that we still dealing with now. Go ahead and play this song on.
To fight, oh, we had to die. We got to hold up the freedom banner.
No justice, no peace, no racist.
There's so many ways that racism and inequity and privilege show up in our system, and we've gotten really good at disguising those ways so that it doesn't sound offensive.
We're basically having a performance, a race dance. And I think Seattle's a place that has a race dance where they don't actually talk about the issues in the most critical ways that matter.
If we really want our kids successful, they're going to need the skills that we teach them here about race and equity.
What happens when race really comes up in our classrooms? Mostly we have white students getting really uncomfortable.
We have a super segregated city, and it's created a bubble in the north end of whiteness and privilege.
And it's not that the system's broke. It was designed to work that way against you.
When discussing racial equity, the kumbaya days are over.
Put all that politics stuff to the side. Like, this is our life.
Young people are the best way to do anything. Why? Because if you do it right, you're done.
I think it's on our shoulders. It's our responsibility to fight for racial equity.
I think we'll constantly be doing the work of racial equity, and I think we'll constantly be trying to strive for that perfect thing. We may not ever obtain it, but I think it's important to always work towards it.
Your duty is to inspire those coming after you to join in the struggle to define and redefine what is American.
You don't want to be like Tony I, 68 years old, 50 years later, talking about the same things that we talked about 50 years ago.
I have granddaughters, and I tell her every day you walk out this door, go be brilliant and go do something right for somebody else. And it's going to come back to you. And I believe she's going to do that. I keep telling her, you guys are going to get it right one day. I probably won't see it, but I know I put this in you now to go get it right.
If we don't really get involved, I think we're right back at the Kerner Commission again. 2 nations, separate and unequal, 1 black, 1 white. Who wants to live there?
Wow, very powerful. And, I really loved hearing the background story of this film when Simon Fox was here. And shout out to everybody who did, catch that film last night. I think it's important. This is a constant discussion. And so much of what they said there resonates with me fully, because as a mother, it's one thing that I'm always, trying to make sure I'm instilling in my children. Maybe it's something I won't really be able to see even in my lifetime, but we're working toward it. The fact that that's what it is, it's a constant work toward it type of thing. It's one of those things where no matter how disheartening it can be, you can't stop the work. Can't do that.
Man. Yeah. I mean, it's just generational, man. Multi-generational, this issue here. And yeah, big shout out to Simon, a fellow Bulldog, by the way. You know what I'm saying? And Roosevelt alumni for racial equity. Salman has put the link in the comments there for people who want to check out the full. It's free. You know what I'm saying? Check out the full thing. And they talking there about the Seattle Nice. We always hear about the Seattle Freeze. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather take the freeze over the nice, because the nice is, hey, bro, Black Lives Matter with the sign, and then, you know what I'm saying, it act and it'd be the hiring manager who be seeing a application with the first name Quashada, who just passes over it, but they got a Black Lives Matter sign at their house, and they'll tell you, hey, I voted for Obama. I have Michelle's book autographed. But here they are in a position to be able to impact somebody black. And yeah, the Black life kind of don't matter that much. So he talks about the Seattle Nice in there as well. And big shout out to Linda Julian, one of our viewers who actually watched it last night and gave us her feedback.
This is something that I think is important. And one thing that, you said, because it is about our actions. You can say something, but then act in a way that goes against what you're saying. We see this a lot, but something that you said always resonates with me. And when you were at the Mohai and you were like, look, man, you can never take our feet off the gas. And it's something that always sticks with me because it's so true to this very day. Taking your foot off the gas, it actually results in complacency and no change. And it being static, man, it's stagnant.
And imagine how tired and wore out and beat down our elders are from a lifetime of having to keep their foot on the gas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, and you look at it now, look at all these people in advocacy in our community. Our elders are still out there having to keep their foot on the gas. Something got to change in this country, man.
Yeah, no, seriously, it really does. This is why I love hanging out with elders, because their perspective is so influential to the moves that we make right now. And one of the things I will say is I love hearing from the elders. Like, there is a wave of things that are moving in ways that they never even thought possible. So there is some great things happening. When we see, Black community getting land and developing land and doing buildings and building institutions, Dr. Mims always tells me, look, that's something we never even thought. You guys are demanding it right now. You guys are taking it in ways that we never really felt empowered to do. So there's a lot of progress that's happened over the years, but you are absolutely right that there is this constant press of, hey, we gotta learn from all the work that was done before, understand the mistakes, not make those same mistakes, move in ways that are innovative and bold, and yet really produce results for our community. It's like an all around thing all the time. So I just want to give a special shout out to everybody who does continue to press. If you're a younger person who is learning from all of the work that the elders have put in, all of the beautiful brilliance that has been, laid the foundation when it comes to, liberation for all of us, I want to give you guys a shout out because I know it's not easy work. And honestly, it takes a lot because we are the people that we're trying to save. So it's not like we get to do it from the sidelines or do it from outside of it. We're affected by it all. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah. And, you got to acknowledge that all the people, not only in our community, but nationwide, who, damn, it's like the burden that you carry at times just in your black. Seattle, a hard city to be black in. Good God. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen the transformation as a kid. This is a hard city to be black in. And, it's always the best feeling when I go down there to North Carolina, hang with my dad, or I'm down in Houston or something. This is a tough city to just be in your blackness, man. It's like, man, I'd be so ready to just move back to Tanzania, to Zanzibar, shit, anywhere, because it's tough here. So I just want to acknowledge that as well. It's funny. I can win all these awards and name and paper. The mayor and these people, they uplift, converge, and everything else. I still get treated like a nigga down here walking downtown. You know what I'm saying? And everything. That's why I just don't even talk about it no more. So it's still a burden that, it's like at times here, your skin is your sin. And this is real. But I guess we got time to talk about all this. So we do have a guest waiting. One more thing I wanted to get up here real quick. I'll show you two things, but this is good news right there on 23rd and Union. Right there. This is from our buddies over there, Capitol Hill, Seattle blog. Noir Art Center, creating a space to grow Black art, artists, and culture on 23rd and Union. And it says here that basically construction is nearly complete on the Midtown Square, right? Apartment complex, leasing for a mix of market rate and affordable apartments. And Art Noir, a new Central District art center focused on Black art, artists, and culture, is getting ready to fill the core ground floor commercial space. One of a kind anchor tenant for this new development. And also that's some work by our very own Takia T-Dub Ward that was there in that overlay.
Yeah, this is a beautiful space indeed. And honestly, I know that it took a lot of community voice to, make sure that this building was not a replica of what we've been seeing in terms of gentrified buildings within the CD. Lake Union Partners has had to work really alongside community to see these visions come to life. Shout out to everybody who's been involved in the back end of this. I know there's a lot of great organizations that were saying, look, we need to be meeting with Lake Union Partners to try to make sure that community voice is at the center. And I think that this is a great example of when you have a for-profit developer who says, let us listen, let us do something different here, and sometimes it may uncomfortability during this development, but it takes that kind of uncomfortability to press for change and to do something that's bold. So I love this, and I can't wait for that space to open. It's going to be unique indeed.
Right. And I think that Lake Union Partners has positioned themselves as a national leader here now. You know what I'm saying? In that kind of space, to be able, as a market rate developer, to be able to show examples, not only across our city, but across the country. One last thing here. Doom, doom, doom. This is from Nope. You got to wait for me sometimes, Chief. Take it down. There you go. KEXP, the internship. Nope. It says KE. It's a big yellow thing over there, Chief. There you go. All right. From KEXP, we'll put the link in the comments over there. They're hiring 4 paid internships, man. This is a good opportunity for anybody who's trying to get in to radio and media in general. And you see there, it's broadcasting, radio production, audio production, social media. The link is in the comments. Man, this is open just, I think, for 10 more days.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity indeed. And shout out to folks that are really taking it upon themselves to step out and do what they love. I mean, this is, a real staple when it comes to radio here in our city. And, the fact that they're opening this up and that we are able to also showcase it to our audience. I mean, that to me is what I love so much about it. But, also they're paying a good wage over there, man. You know what I mean? So like you said, if you got somebody laid on your couch, So that I go back to, you know what I mean? This is a time for them to really explore, because sometimes it's like you've been producing beats in your closet, you know what I mean? Trying to make it happen, having the homies come through, you know, got a makeshift, you know, studio over there. But this is a great opportunity to really, you know, cement those skills.
Yeah, KXP, that's world-class facilities over there with world-class people. All right, I'm getting ready to get off the set because next up, we have Queen Bree, project manager over at Rainier Avenue Radio, and she's going to fill us in on all the great stuff going on over there for Black History Month. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable.
Hey y'all, T-Dub here, letting you know about another art funding opportunity. Fur culture recovery funding for individuals is available now, and here's what you need to know to apply. Are you a cultural producer who has been impacted by the pandemic? If you answered yes, but what is a cultural producer? Well, you are a cultural producer if your work, paid or unpaid, is dedicated to creating cultural experiences in any discipline or at any stage of your career. Some examples include exhibit designers, museums educations, archivists, restoration professionals, curators, history researchers, artists, of course, and more. In understanding that grant language can sometimes feel exclusive to specific people, using terms like cultural producer is one of the ways For Culture seeks to broaden its scope of applicants. In other words, this funding is for you. And look, the application fatigue is real. I get it, they get it. But the For Culture staff is here to walk you through it. They have grants from $1,000 to $12,000, so please don't miss out. The deadline to apply is Wednesday, February 2nd. Head to forculture.org/recovery to get information on virtual group workshops, application support, language translation, and more.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here with some much needed information about what's happening in our communities when it comes to COVID-19 in 2022. Omicron is actually the latest COVID-19 variant and honestly is hitting our local communities and hospitals pretty hard. You can help out by 1, making sure you are vaccinated, 2, making sure you have your booster, and 3, simply masking up. As we learn more about COVID-19, we're also learning more about how the vaccine works best. A booster shot 2 to 5 months after your COVID-19 vaccine significantly improves protection against COVID and its many variants. If you need a COVID-19 vaccine or a booster, there are free options for transportation and childcare that are available. To learn more about all of your options and where you can get your booster shot, go to kingcounty.gov/COVID/vaccine.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your co-host, Trey Holiday, and joining me right now on the set is Queen Bree from Rainier Avenue Radio. Lots to talk about for Black History Month. Welcome, Queen Bree.
Thank you. Well, welcome. This isn't my show. Thanks for having me, Trey.
Well, hey, you do have your own show, so I know how sometimes we get in autopilot. It's all good. So glad to have you with us again. And, you know, you guys at Rainier Avenue Radio are always consistent when it comes to Black History Month. And I know there's a lot of events going on, but there's a couple that are kind of coming up that we need to know about, right?
Yeah, so like you said, Rainier Avenue Radio has a lot of events coming up. We're kicking off our events tonight. Forgive me, I have to read off my phone. But tonight we're having a comedy show at 7 to 8. It is a private event. So if anyone wants to join us, they have to email me at brian.rainieravenueradioworld@gmail.com, right? So tonight it'll be Nate Jackson and Tawana, hosted by Swing One, and that'll be tonight at 7 p.m. So you guys come join us. We also have, we have a lot of events coming on, but it seems the theme for Black History this month is Black Wall Street. And so we really want to get into everyone's mind and thoughts that we'll be celebrating Black Wall Street for 3 days this month, which will be the 25th, the 26th, and the 27th. We're kicking off the 25th with Women of Black Wall Street, the exhibit. And I'm so excited about that. I love, my calling is highlighting the beauty of women and what we have done for history and what we're still doing. We also have on the 26th, the Black Wall Street Fair, sorry. And we have some guest speakers from Black Wall Street that will have an exhibit. So some of the descendants from the people who were in Black Wall Street will be here talking about what happened. And then Sunday we'll be closing it out. We also have another comedy event, February 14th. We have workshops coming up. So a lot of things going on. And I have to plug in real quick that we are supporting another Black Wall Street event going on this Saturday. The director from the Black Wall Street Museum will be in town speaking about Black Wall Street. So you guys have to come out and enjoy all of these events for Black History, not Black Wall Street.
Well, you know what? You're right about it being a theme. And I think it's so important when we talk about what, Omari and I were just talking about, this constant, pushing for progress. And when we think about what it really looks like to get there, we're talking, many organizations are in the business of creating thriving Black communities, right? Yeah. When they're Black led, Black ran, or doing things around, Black liberation, it's about creating these thriving Black communities. And so Black Wall Street is such an anchor for that. Yes. It is such an anchor for us to understand and identify what it looks like when we talk about thriving Black communities. And I know right here in Seattle, oftentimes we're talking about the history of the Central District because we did have a thriving Black community in the Central District as well. And you see that resurgence kind of happening right now. I know Rainier Avenue Radio had a spot right there in the CD as well, because Tony B was like, yeah, we're in the South End, but we had to bring our energy to the CD. There's this thriving, revolution, so to speak, of us understanding the history locally, but also being inspired by that story of Black Wall Street and being able to understand it was a complete town that they said, look, we're going to do this. So it's great to hear that you guys have so many events that are dedicated toward elevating the story of Black Wall Street and bringing people in from outside of the city and the state that also have this deep connection to it. What are some of the things that you guys are hoping folks will gain as they attend some of these amazing events you guys have listed?
So, I don't want to speak about Tony, but I think that what I would love for everyone to gain is we need to know our history. That's bottom line. We need to know our history, but I want to highlight the beauty of our history. We always talk about like slavery. We always look at it as a bad light, but there were businesses, there were educated Black people in our family, and we need to know about that. So what I'm hoping is everyone is inspired and they see that we aren't just slaves. Slavery is not our story. Business owners is our story. Education is our story. Black leaders is our story. And this is what I love about everything that I'm connected to right now, is that we are about uplifting the Black voices. And even with Tony, it's like for the past 3 months, we have been having events where we have Black owned businesses come in here and giving them the chance to highlight their business and what they're selling. It's just uplifting our Black voices and not just singing. And I love the hymns, but it's not just about singing the hymns. It's about, we are strong, beautiful, educated people. So I'm hoping that everyone gets inspired and know that you can own your own business. You don't have to bust your butt to go work for the man. You can own your own business and build your community. We can have a Black Wall Street again. And I hope that they get that in their head and we can build towards that.
Yeah, I think that's one of the greatest things about Black marketplaces in general is a person going to a marketplace and being inspired by another entrepreneur's story and being like, man, if they could do it, particularly during this pandemic where we saw a rise in Black businesses as people were like, man, I have to make an income. I still have a family to support. And maybe their primary, income went down because of COVID or their job shut down. Ultimately, we had a lot of people that were like, man, I've always wanted to make candles. I just started doing it. I've always wanted to juice. I just started doing it. So the idea is that people can also learn from entrepreneurs and be inspired to be like, man, if they did it, I could do it too. But I will say too, one of the things that I really appreciate about this kind of collective awakening that I've been seeing happen, particularly in the last few years, is people being more and more educated by the ancient history. So we could talk about history in this country. It only goes back a few hundred years, right? But when we think about ancient history and how, original societies were built by Black hands, and the ideas around some of the greatest mathematicians and physicists and doctors and, those that really had their eye on planetary alignment, the way that our people actualized, their life in a social environment and civilization in the beginnings were literally things that we still need to learn from to this day.
So
I mean, you're
much.
talking about, thousands of people getting together to build pyramids, and they understood how to do it. And we still can't even figure it out with all the technology we have now, how they did it then. But this collective nature of the ancient civilizations of our people, I love how you said that we can't be focused on the slave narrative, which I think really a lot of people are moving away from as we look at Black liberation and how Black art, Black cinema, Black film, all of these things are starting to really uplift a lot of these kind of ideals that you speak of, Bree.
Yeah, and I try to get that through a lot of people. It's like, yes, this happened and it is sad and we have to know about it, but we have to start highlighting that, because that is what's really going to uplift us. That is what sometimes people need a vision. And when we got all this social media, like putting things in our kids' heads, we got to be uplifting them and showing them where they could be. So
yeah.
And
it's where they come from too. I think that is so important. When you were talking, that's one of the things that really resonated for me, is that if we don't do that, if we don't uplift those stories, who will? Right. And ultimately the ways that we can be resolved through them, because we can say, slavery, it was a sad time, but let's not forget there was a ton of people who resisted, right? And so even when I went through, I call him my community uncle, Delbert Richardson, going through his exhibit that was there at King Street Station, the unspoken truth, I think it's ending on the 5th of January. So it's still open there now. But the unspoken truth, as much as it was talking about slavery, the KKK, all of these things, it also really spoke about the errors of the people that were like, nah, I'm jumping off this boat, or nah, I'm fighting you because I refuse to do that. I refuse to be enslaved by you. I'm not going to subject that to my children or my family lineage. Those ideas and stories were never really taught to us in history. You know what I mean?
I wonder why.
Yeah, right? It's always this constant thing of, if we only understood how powerful we were, then we would know collectively that power is still within us. And that's something that I really am excited about. What are some of the things you have going on your radio show before I let you go coming up during this Black History Month?
So for our Black History Month, we usually try to give, because we only got 30 minutes. You guys are really good. You guys got this hour. We got 30 minutes. So we try to give like little things for our work, our viewers to hold true to. So we'll really be focusing on Black History Month. So, because of course our parent company is the one who's put on this exhibit this weekend. So this weekend we'll be talking about our Black Wall Street event that's going on and what's to expect there. And we really want to highlight Black communities. So we'll be talking about history, and we had Lanisha on from African American Museum, and she talked about, it's good to know Black history, but do you know your Black history? So for this year, I kind of want to focus on saying things about my Black history, about my family history, and educating viewers on things of who I am and where I come from. So those are some of the things you can expect from Clean Greens. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Good stuff.
And one thing I want to touch on, sorry, I don't know how much time we have. What you said about us being inspired by each other. I love how the kids are being inspired by us and our movement and what we're doing. We had an exhibit where a little Black girl was there watching a whole bunch of Black women in business. So I just really want to touch on how important it is to learn about Black Wall Street and learn about your history and learn about Black history so that we can continue to uplift.
Agreed, 100%. And you know what? It's why I never know who's watching. but you always move as if somebody is watching and
Yes.
you're inspiring somebody. And even if it's somebody that's in your peer group, somebody that's older and elder, somebody that's younger, the idea is that what you're doing today can be inspiring to someone else. Man, be that example. Walk in that light of being an example, because you never know who you're inspiring. And how
Right.
can folks get up with all these events, learn exactly the dates and the times? Where can they find all the information?
So everything Rainier Avenue Radio, check out Rainier Avenue Radio on Instagram. Check out Rainier Avenue Radio on Twitter, Facebook. You can check out RainierAvenueRadio.world. If you want to know all things Clean Greens radio show, you can check out Reliving Woman on the Rise, or you can go check out Clean Greens on Instagram.
All right.
How do I even carry a show and I keep stumbling?
Yeah.
But you know what? We be having fun.
And I gotta say, you're looking fabulous. So fun and fabulous today
Thank
for
you.
you, Queen Bree. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Great to hear about all the amazing things going on at Rainier Avenue Radio right here with Queen Bree. I get to bring my guy, Big O, co-host with the most, back after this short break. Stay tuned. You guys are watching the Morning Update Show.
Hey guys, Besa Gordon here, and before heading to Belize, Trey Holiday and I had to make sure we linked up with our good friends over at Market Street Shoes to, of course, grab a few things for the trip. From bags to socks, shoes, sunglasses, earrings, and more. Before going on any trip, make sure you stop at Market Street Shoes. Trust me, you'll find just what you need to make your trip not only enjoyable, but fashionable. Hey guys, Besa Gordon here with some much needed information about what's happening in our communities when it comes to COVID-19 in 2022. Omicron is actually the latest COVID-19 variant and honestly is hitting our local communities and hospitals pretty hard. You can help out by 1, making sure you are vaccinated, 2, making sure you have your booster, and 3, simply masking up. As we learn more about COVID-19, we're also learning more about how the vaccine works best. A booster shot 2 to 5 months after your COVID-19 vaccine significantly improves protection against COVID and its many variants. If you need a COVID-19 vaccine or a booster, there are free options for transportation and childcare that are available. To learn more about all of your options and where you can get your booster shot, go to kingcounty.gov/COVID/vaccine.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I got to say, I'm excited. Every time I see that ad right there for Romeo and Juliet, I'm telling you, it's going to be a great show. What up, Big O? Bringing you back.
Yeah, well, speaking of that, let's just do this part now. You got the Romeo and Juliet overlay? So we got tickets. It's Friday, Converge night at the Pacific Northwest Ballet, hosted by Trey Holiday, right? Tell them about it, Trey.
Yes, so excited to have you guys join us. We do have 2 pairs of the tickets that have been claimed. So let me tell you, you guys email me at Trey, TRAE at whereweconverge.com. Put your name in the hat to be getting these tickets. I'm telling you right now, you're not going to be disappointed. And you guys get to come with me. We get to have a great time. So please email me so that you guys could, claim some of these tickets. We still have 3 pairs available.
I'm just glad that you get all the emails now. Yo, man, listen, my box be bubbling. So, Trey, TRAE at whereweconverge.com. We want to join Trey Holiday there at McCall Hall for Romeo and Juliet this Friday. Man, I saw a story this morning on CBS Mornings. I'm a big aviation buff, always been enamored with aviation since I was a little kid. And there's a flight training academy in upstate New York that's based in the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen that's teaching young Black boys and girls how to fly.
The program is inspired by Tuskegee Airmen, the country's first Black military pilots. Michael George spoke with several students clocking flight hours as they prepare to become commercial pilots.
The freedom of soaring through the skies. That's been a dream for 21-year-old Trey Jackson his entire life.
Ever since like 2 years old, I saw the movie Top Gun.
I feel the need for speed.
Ow! Seeing Tom Cruise in the F-14, that was my whole entire motivation to look into the world of aviation.
But becoming a pilot wouldn't be easy. Training alone can cost around $100,000. Then Jackson got a call he never expected. He'd been chosen to join a program looking for a new generation of young Black pilots.
I literally prayed for something like exactly like this program.
The program, called Red Tail Flight Academy, is inspired by the legendary Tuskegee Airmen.
Pilots trained the Tuskegee way go on to earn high praise.
The first Black military pilots who battled both Nazis during World War II and racism back home. Jackson and fellow aspiring pilot Maya Coley are a part of the Academy's first class. What did it feel like when you heard you were chosen, when you were selected for this program?
I cried. It was unbelievable for me because a lot of people who look like me, they don't know where to start or they don't know how to start because it is such a financial burden.
But 80 years after the Tuskegee Airmen first took flight, aviators like Jackson and Coley are still rare. Black aircraft pilots and engineers make up less than 4% of those employed in the industry.
I think we're making a change.
Glenn Frazier, founder of Red Tail, made it his mission to diversify the skies.
There is a problem with awareness within the inner city and the urban areas to know that this particular career is a possibility.
The simulators are really a critical component.
Board member Ann Palmer says the young pilots in training now carry the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen, a legacy started by aviators like her father, one of the original airmen.
My father was Second Lieutenant Augustus L. Palmer, an extraordinary father, but an extraordinary man.
This is personal for you.
Very, very. There's nothing greater than to see what your ancestors stood for, actually honored and perpetuated.
What do you think your dad would say, seeing them take to the sky?
Straighten up, fly right, get it done.
Introduce another notch of flaps.
Jackson and Coley are now living a dream they once thought was out of their reach.
It's always been that intimidation of, for me, Black women can't fly or Black women won't be able to take on this challenge. And that was motivation for me.
What does it feel like now to take off?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, it's been like the most amazing experience. Oh, sorry, I'm teared up.
That's all right.
But yeah, I always tell my family I wanted to be a pilot, and then actually finally being able to and actually take off and actually holding my private pilot's license, it was a great experience.
Jackson now has more than 150 flight hours. You're about the same age as the Tuskegee Airmen were when they flew. Do you ever think about that?
Think about that all the time. It's a lot of motivation to wake up in the morning.
Jackson and Coley both hope to become commercial pilots when they graduate this spring, and they'll always remember the shoulders they're standing on. Trey, what do you think the Tuskegee Airmen would say about you guys?
I think that they would definitely say that we are following in their footsteps and really trying to just push the bar even higher each and every time.
For CBS Mornings, Michael George, New Windsor, New York.
Oh, so beautiful on the first day of Black History Month to see those young Black pilots. I'm going to put it out there because they are going to graduate, and the ideas that this program is really being intentional. Again, you know how much I love intentionality. I think it's key. I think it's so necessary. But, shout out to them over there in upstate New York and what they're doing to really open up the door and open up the space for young folks who really have that goal and that dream, as that young man did there in that piece. Just so touching, honestly. And you know what? Shout out to the Red Tail Hawks out here. We have our own Black Pilots Club in Renton. You know what I mean? So shout out to them as well.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, when I was watching this morning, when it's dope, like 100% for sure, you know, and I could see myself like at that age, you know, somebody who would want to attend that academy. You know, I love aviation ever since I was a little kid. But it was like amazing. Just I think about this morning is that here, right here in this country, you know, it's always a big deal. And no matter what airline you on, and you go, and it's a black pilot out the cockpit, and you're like, whoa. But then it also just reminds me of all the years living overseas, and like almost every pilot on Kenya Airways was black. Every pilot on Air Tanzania, every pilot on Ethiopian Airways, a whole bunch of the pilots on. So like my whole time on the continent, it was like, you know, and people were like, oh, you know, I'm taking pictures. I'm sitting back. People were like, what are you taking a picture for? I'm like, oh man, it's a black captain here. Da 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 da. Back home, there's not that many black captains, and it's like, it's a trip. You know what I'm saying? That you go from a space where everything is just black to, you know, what is it, 4%? But a good field for sure. You know what I'm saying? Aviation, and a great story right there from CBS Mornings. We're at the top of the hour, so it's almost time to get out of here. I want to remind everybody, Valentine's. You gonna be my Valentine? Valentine's, Truly Unruly over there at Nate Jackson's Super Funny Comedy Club. We got a link right there. That's our very own Marcus and Jessica Trufant from the show Truly Unruly. People see it here Sundays at 8 p.m. They're down there for Valentine's Day doing a live show, Trey.
Yeah, this is exciting indeed, you know, because I'm looking forward to seeing them do their thing live. And the thing is that, you know, they're so authentically them that I that's what I'm looking forward to, right? Is because they just put it out there and really celebrate Black love in a way that is infectious. So I'm excited for that.
All right, good stuff. We're over time, so we're gonna get out of here. Any last words?
You should always see yourself as a part of the solution. It's needed. And for any of you that are Black out there, it's Black History Month. You got no excuses at all from me to see yourself as part of the solution this month in particular.
Yeah. And over here, what I got to say is, man, appreciate everybody out there who supports us, because, man, we make Black history here every day. On that note, I want to remind you, go forward in your purpose. Go forward in your humanity. And until tomorrow at 11 a.m. Peace.
What do I see through a lens of fear? 1,000 little steps to go. What do I fear after all these years? Lord knows I don't even know. I've been running on the edge of a sundial, sleeping in the shadow. I've been begging you to see me, then hiding beyond the unreachable. Looking out left on a right-hand turn, just trying to make a deal. A lazy shoes and love is a love that turn. That's the kind of food that heals. I've been searching for the end of an era, waiting to be ready. The world is bigger than a moment. Be steady, that's how you can feel it's real. But I feel naked in my new clothes, 'cause I got used to hiding the holes. This old world got new tricks and I'm in the thick of it. This I swear I'm already sick of it. At least I found the antidote. Oh. I know no one is a shadow. 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 I know no one is a 'cause I got used to hiding the hole.